Hello and namaste, and this is Neeraj here once again, and welcome back to my channel Financial Market Analysis Twist by Neeraj. So in today's video I would just like to give you a little brief about my trip to India and what is happening and what repercussions it may have on the financials and economy and the stock market of India particularly. So before starting, thanks everyone, whoever have subscribed to my channel, thank you very much. And if you like, you please put a like and share it with the maximum friends. So as you know, as I'm back in Moscow from my short trip to India, and I had been to 3 places particularly for 2 weeks. I was in Calcutta, in Mumbai, and in Delhi. And regarding this, all this newspaper and media reports all over the world, and particularly in India, regarding this pandemic situation, virus wave, second wave, third wave, whatever, So in Calcutta, everything was open. After, I think, after the result of the election, they have little bit of closed during the morning and the evening, but the daytime they have still kept it open. That's a very sensible decision by the government there. In Mumbai, it was closed, everything was, but transportation was open. And I live in Andheri. I mean, my place is in Andheri West, and very near to the sports complex, and there is a crematorium. Our Hindu crematorium is there nearby my house. 1 week I was there, I didn't see a single dead body coming for cremation or ritual. So, so much to say about the so-called serious COVID situation. People are dying and all this kind of stupid media reports, or what do you call misleading media reports. Maybe in Delhi, maybe situation may be more serious. But what serious? 4,000 people dying out of 1.4 billion people. Or you can say that 1400 million people living in India. It's not even 1%. It's not even 0.1%. And total number of cases till now, say 25 million. What is that? 1400 million, 25 million. It's what? It's 1.5%. Case is 1.5%. And death is even 250,000 something. It's less than 1%. More people die, as I keep on repeating in my all the previous videos also, that it is more of a media made and a leftist media world over, and the enemies of India, which has made this hullabaloo about the serious COVID situation in India, and all this opposition ruled state governments, they have imposed without thinking, killing lockdown in India. As I keep on repeating that you will see more people getting ruined, and more lives and more families will get ruined because of this lockdown and not because of this virus. Today's report, if I was saying, I was reading somewhere that CMI, Center for Monitoring of Indian Economy, has come out with a report that more than 7.5 million jobs are lost in April itself. Jobless rate at an all-time high of 8%. This is just a starting. You will see much more serious and sad commentary coming about this job losses of lives, because people will become desperate, people will commit suicide. No money, no food, what to do? And all this lockdown, this government just say lockdown, the local state governments, without giving any help. Or what help? With 1,000 rupees, 1,500 rupees, what, your life 1 month will carry on? Is it possible to carry on living in 1,000 and 1,500 rupees, whatever, that so-called stupid Maharashtra state government has announced, or some other similar kind of state governments which has taken indiscriminate and crazy decisions of lockdown. And in addition to that, we have overwise and stupid high courts. and the Supreme Courts and all the judges, generally the courts of India, the judicial system. Now let me give you little background about why I call this courts stupid or brainless people who are there in this court and judicial system of India. If you look at all the brilliant students, all the good average, above average and average students, they go for what kind of career? They go for engineering or medicine, technology, and higher, say, MBA and all these things, management. And those who can't do anything, they go for this kind of so-called this arts and then law. So those students who are good for nothing, or very below average students, they normally, I'm talking about in general, okay, there may be exceptions, but in generally these students opt for this law or related to that. So you can understand what kind of quality pool of these people who become lawyers and then graduate to, say, judges and magistrates and this kind of. So you can't expect, if there is no good quality of pool of water inside a river, so how you can expect that you will get the water from the same river which will be of a very pure and good quality. So that pool itself, that pool itself is so rotten, so bad, and so below average kind of people, the brains, that they can just you can't expect logical or the scientific understanding of anything from this kind of courts and the judges and those who are into the judicial system of India. Okay, having said that, it's the only courts in India which poke their nose into all the unnecessary things, into the governance, except for the deliverance of judgment and the real cases. They do all kinds of nonsense, and that's how they pass their time sitting. Because these undeserving people, when they become these judges and into the chairs of that high authority chairs, because of this constitution or that the country's law gives them that power goes into their heads, and then undeserving people get power. What havoc can happen. That's what it's in India. They keep on giving advice to the government on the things which they don't have any knowledge or even 1% of understanding about these things of what is COVID or what is pandemic and what is medical, what is science, what is economics of this. So my sincere request to the government of India, because I believe that they are the real authority and they have the means, resources to understand the big conspiracy or what is happening in the name of this COVID. You should take the lead now and force states not to force any lockdown, because lockdown will create havoc. That is what all this leftist or the opposition of India's rise economy, they want to destroy India's economy. Because if you destroy economy, you destroy millions of lives. You will create chaos which will be beyond control of any government. That's what they are doing it. What they did in the Trump's election, that is what they did. They created such a sort of chaos and this and that, and that Donald Trump, the US president, lost the elections because of this media creation of all the images. The same thing is happening now. They have diverted their attention towards India, because it is beating them that how come still India is continuing to rise, and this government of Modi is still doing so well, and still why people are not angry. So they are creating this kind of confusion along with these opposition ruled states. So they, on the one hand, they announce all these opposition ruled states announce lockdown, which is not going to save any cases or lives. Nowhere in the world it has happened. I can tell you the examples of, at least in Russia where I live. Here everything is open. After that last year's lockdown of 2 months, where all the world was under lockdown from, say, April to May, June, they understood that this is not the solution of fighting COVID. The solution is just have a more hospitals and more infrastructure, and make people aware about the dangers or whatever it is there. And because after that last year's lockdown, 50% of the retail stores and the restaurants in Russia, in Moscow, didn't open. They just ruined. You can imagine 50% of. So it's a big blow, and they understood that this is not the way. If few thousands will die from the COVID, millions will lose their lives and jobs because of the ruin of economy, because of lockdown, not because of the COVID. So this is where I am coming into this video that Russian government very smartly, they didn't do anything. They're saying that okay, you take care, okay, mask is there, you take precaution, but we are not going to any lockdown. We cannot we cannot be responsible for ruining of millions of lives and economy of the country, where we are not able to give any help to the people. So we can't force people to sit at home and shut down and not do any economic activity. Also, health-wise also, you need to be moving out at least. You need to get some sun, vitamin D. And in India, what is happening? They are locking it like as if it's some kind of a criminal. And I have seen the reaction of common people also in Mumbai societies. All crazy kind of people live. People have become crazy. I can tell you that normal people also, my so-called friends, I have seen, they react so much of extreme reactions. You can see, don't want to meet, they are so much of scared. So this virus mongering, I would not say fear mongering, but I will name it as a virus mongering is happening in India in the name of virus. So it is virus mongering everywhere. Everybody becomes the judge. Everybody becomes the, that society secretary behaves like the president of India, that they can enforce rules. And people have to force to sit inside, they don't get sun, they don't get fresh air, they don't exercise, and their immunity goes down. Their vitamin D, because of no sun, vitamin D goes down, no exercise, vitamin C is not there, and that is where they fall sick. More and more cases you will see because of lockdown also. And also, because of this vaccine, what vaccine does is that it reduces your immunity. Because that is the job of vaccine, to create antibodies in your body. First it brings down your immunity to zero, and that is where maximum people fall in mild cases of they get virus also, mild cases of COVID also, and that's why you see the increase in number of cases in India. So it's a mixture of so many things. It's not that and it's not so lethal. Even if 1% fall and less than 1% become serious, it's part and parcel of the game. But just for the few thousands in people, you cannot screw the full country of 1.4 billion people, actually. So that's what my oft-repeated comment about is that this state government should be taken rein from this, central government should take away the reins of all the control in India, because the state governments are losing their minds and behaving exactly opposite to what they should behave. Instead of enforcing lockdown and ruining lives of millions of laborers, millions of people, daily wage earners, and millions of middle class, lower middle class, they are just playing to the tunes of this Western media and Western propaganda and all this scientific, unscientific propaganda of so-called scientific community. So don't fall prey to it. Like Russia, don't do anything. Just give instruction that this is the danger, this is precaution, but we are not going to close anything. You can carry on. If somebody is very much afraid, he or she can stay at home. But why you force others who has to leave, who has to do their activity? So it is a classical example in India only, that minority tries to control the majority. So this is the minority scared people and minority cases, they are controlling the full India. And they are dictating the economic and all the other life terms of India. That is where we should stop. We should take control. Majority has to take control from this so-called minority, leftist media, leftist government, this kind of propaganda, false propaganda. And you will see the more ruins coming into you because this way they are continuing with lockdown, all this state government, particularly in Maharashtra, they increased lockdown to 1st June. Other are emulating that. You should not do that. You will see more ruins. You will see more correction in the market. And also, coming back to the stock market, is metal, as you see, steel has become the new gold in this world, right? Which I didn't expect. The way the steel and iron ore prices have moved up crazily, it's like something like $900 per ton HRC, and this iron ore price is 225 all time in the history, 200 years history. This prices nobody has seen. So as you know, that party cannot continue. So there has to be an end, because this has become uneconomical, illogical kind of prices. Okay, so sooner or later, what will happen is that people will start replacing or usage of steel with some other metals. So if you see this copper, steel, iron ore, coal, these are the I think molybdenum. These are the about 40% increase in this year. These are the metals which has rose, but still, there is this aluminium, zinc, nickel, ferrochrome. They have not risen to that extent. They have risen around 8 to 10% only nominal price increase in these particular metals. So now we will see the next leg of happening is that switching of investment from the steel to this other alternative, like say aluminium or zinc, say nickel, ferrochrome. So you will see the price rise happening into this particular and the steel, because sooner or later you cannot use, it's better to use silver rather than steel. The price, the way it has moved, price of steel, it has become like new gold or new silver. So people will start using more of copper and silver and the stainless steel, because stainless steel will become much more attractive as compared to this steel, and with all this more properties of stainless steel better than the steel, with this kind of price it doesn't make sense. So I think it's very soon it's going to top out, and you will see that correction happening in the steel stocks. So it's time to switch from the steel stocks to this other metal kind of, which has not yet participated in the rally. So that is where you should watch into, say aluminium, say zinc, say nickel. So I think these are the three metals which I believe will lead to the next kind of rally you will see. And very soon I will be coming, because I am very much disappointed with this what is happening in India, particularly at the state government levels, and all this kind of nonsense of knockdown and ruining of economy. And that's why I'm worried that stock may correct, and that's why I'm just I have some ideas. I have already formed ideas about that very lucrative, some kind of stock ideas specific, which I may, as you know, that premium video I come out with for a very nominal charge of paid video. But I'm just waiting for some kind of a stability, or some kind of at least stability of the policy from the Indian government, so that markets also understand and the economy also stabilizes, because right now we are in very chaos in this Indian situation. That's it from my side, and ciao from Neeraj from Moscow, till the time we find something, as I told you, some new idea and the stability of the economy happens. Ciao.